Hello, my friends. This is Shelley from Koala Knits and Knacks, and I can assure you that you are going to be happy that you clicked on this video. This is the first time that I've taken my Addi apart. I've been using it for just over a year now, and it is time. It's doing funny things, so it's time to take it apart. And so come along on this journey with me as I do that and clean my machine, put it back together, and along the way come up with a couple little ideas to make our knitting experience better. You are not going to want to miss this video. There are going to be times in this video where you think, oh, maybe I should shut it off because I don't think she's going to get it. But stick with me because I eventually get it. Okay? And anyways, I am just so incredibly overwhelmed and thankful for the way this ended up. And you will find that out near the end of the video. So join me and let's take good care of our Addis and get them nice and clean and just in tip-top shape. Because when they come from the factories, I don't think that they necessarily put them together the way they probably should. And I think that we can prevent some of these tucked stitches and drop stitches. And I figured that out as I started cleaning this machine and got towards, as I started putting it back together. So join me and let's just get going. Okay, so I am going to attempt cleaning my machine. So I took out the screws here on all four, and then I am going to just pick up this. I thought it was this whole thing, but then I realized it's just this little piece here. So I want to be very careful. And then oh, look how dirty that is. And then I'm going to just take it and I'm going to clean it. I'm trying to find the reason why my machine is making so much noise. Maybe it's a broken needle. Maybe it's not. I've never taken this apart before, but I'm going to brave it. Okay, so that's the first section, and I'll clean that a little bit later, but I'm going to put that section down on the floor with the screws that go with it. And I'm gonna line, every time I take something off, I'm gonna line it up in order. Ooh, so this one just pulls off next, okay? Wonder if I have to have these needles. I'm gonna put that in line. I don't know if I have to or not, but I'm going to. Oh, this is scary. I'm gonna take that off. Oh, this is like not clean. Look at that. I use this thing so much. Like, look. Oh, this is gonna be fun cleaning this. I love taking things apart and cleaning them. So much fun. Okay, so then I'm gonna put that down right beside in order to keep it in order. Now I don't know what I'm doing next. Let me just see here. Is that how these things come out now? Oh, look at all the grime that's on those needles. No wonder. I'm just going to keep rotating it. I'm going to make sure when I put it back together that I have this lined up exactly the way I took it off. So this last white and this first black are in line here. That's how I took it off, so that's how I'm going to fix it. There's a dust in there like you would not believe. Okay, so I don't know what comes off next, actually. So I'm going to figure it out, and then I'll get back to you. Oh, I see where there's some screws, so I bet you I have to take these screws off. I don't know for sure. It just makes logical sense to me because I can't lift any of this up. So I'm going to take that off. Take this one off. There better be some good videos out there to show me how to put this back together if I get it all apart and can't figure it out. But I'm just going to try to go one step at a time. And then I'll follow this video backwards if I have to put it back together. Okay, take that one out. I'm going to set that screwdriver down there. Now see, will this lift out? Oh, oh my gosh. Gently, 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 gently. I'm scared. I need your moral support group. Look at that. Oh my gosh, look at it. This is a year of use with never cleaning it, okay? Other than just wiping it. So it is about time. So now these needles can come off, and I'm going to see if I can find. Now, do I need to mark where the black one goes? Okay, so I see there's a little V here. You see this V? I'm going to take, okay, I'm recording this, so I'm going to go look back. there's that where these black, the last white and the last black sit. That's where I got to make sure that I put that first black right in there. Look at that. This baby is going to run so smoothly when I'm done. I cannot wait to show you. I can't wait to show myself. This is awesome. Okay, so I'm going to take these out. Let me put these screws with that other barrel that I took out. Guys, this is exciting. I take after my mother with this because my mom, she'll take anything apart and fix it, like literally anything, and figure it out. So those are the three. They all look, other than completely disgusting dirty, they look good. Okay, I want to make sure that none of these are broken. I am assuming that, you know, I thought one had to be broken because of the way it was making noises and skipping and stuff, like on the one area, but maybe because it's so dang dirty. Like, it's saying, oh, please clean me, clean me. Okay, so I'm going to go around and I'm going to take out every one of these and I'm going to check for anything that's broken. I'm going to clean them all. And if by chance I find a broken one, I'm going to show you, okay, just so you can see. Oh my goodness, like, look at that. No wonder this thing's having a hard time cranking. Okay, people, this video hopefully will help you and you're going to take yours apart. We're going to do it together. Okay, we'll do it together. We'll get her done and we're going to all just have such beautifully running machines, silent, quiet, and happy machines. Okay, so I'm going to take those all out and check them and then I'll get back with you. Okay, no broken needles so far, but look at that. No wonder it's struggling. Oh, brother, this is so much fun. Okay, so no broken needles. I can't believe it, actually. Now, how do I get this one out? Do I just, like... I bet you have to take the handle off. I do, because, look, it's connected to the handle. So I'm going to turn... I'm going to wash them all. I'm going to put them right in soapy water and rinse them well and get them washed. But I'm going to go in there and I'm going to undo my handle. I'm not going to do that on camera because it's too awkward. I'm going to undo my handle and then I'll be right back. All right, I have the handle off, the handle part off, and it's disgusting too. So I'll put that little screw in that handle and I'll put that down next in line because that's what I took off. Now I can't pull this apart until I take off those screws is what I'm guessing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove these screws. I am like going to be messed, guys, if I can't get this back together. I'm going to be crying in my Facebook group saying, I can't get my Addi back together. But okay. So I'm going to undo these 4 screws and then I will see you back. Okay, so for this one, I needed this flat one. I'm not a tool person, so I don't know what it is. Oh, it says, what's here? I don't know what size it is, but for the other ones, I use this Phillips one, okay? The one that came with my Addi, I have one that came with one of my machines. It's either, I think the 22 needle machine. It came with one of my machines. I have a little one. It's like this. Must have come with my either my center or my 22 needle Addi because it doesn't work on this. It's too small. Okay, so I'm going to take that out. I'm going to take this one out. Okay, the more you get done, the braver you're going to be. Okay, I'm like, let me at her. Okay, I've got all my needles in this bucket. Like, it is disgusting. Like, look at this. I'm going to wash those up so nice and shiny. It's going to be like brand new. Okay, now let me flip this over. I don't want to lose these screws, so be very careful with your screws. So I'm going to put those in line where they go next. And then, let's see, where do I go from here? Does this pop off? Oh, yeah, this whole section comes off. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the bottom base, the only clean part of the whole machine. So I'm going to put this down. I'm going to put this bottom base down. And then I should be able to get I need to get this piece off. I thought that's what I was working at, okay? Oh, there's more screws in here. Well, for the love of money, we got to take these ones off. Bet you got to take my counter off too, but I'm going to take these off first. Okay, so remember what I just said about you get braver as you go? That in a sense is true until you look at the next layer and then you say, okay, well that didn't work. There's still more screws. So now I'm getting nervous again, but how bad can it be? What comes apart must be able to be put back together, right? So I'm going to take all these screws off. Just like so. Okay, they're coming off easy. Is there another one here? Okay, so that, what is that for? That is for this little latch. Oh man, I don't want to take all those off. Maybe I should watch a video of someone doing this and see what I do next. But I'm going to just persevere, okay? So let's just take this off. Will this come off? Okay. Oh, okay, 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 okay. Progress. Guys are all laughing at me, I know. So I do have to take this off because, oh man, if I screw up my counter, you are going to have one person crying here. So I'm going to shut this off and then reevaluate what I'm doing here. Okay, I just like turned this around and reevaluate it or evaluated it, and I think I do have to take this off. Okay, peeps, this is where I'm thinking you might be a little stupid, but I'm doing it for the team. Now this screwdriver that I showed you earlier fits for here. So, okay, it's just a screw. How can it wreck the counter, right? Just tell myself that. It's just a screw. How can it wreck the counter? It's just a screw. Okay, so I'm going to put that over there. Let me see. What does that do? What does that do? Oh my word. Okay, peeps, this is like actually harder than it looks. Like I assure you, this is not easy. So there's got to be some way to do this. So I am actually thinking I should be smart and not go any further until I research it. I'm sure that somebody on YouTube has gone ahead of me and figured this out. And I don't want to be so proud as to think I can do the whole thing myself. So I'm not going any further. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put this screw back. So, you know, this is a lesson video for you too. Like, we're doing this together. And I often say that in my videos, that sometimes I'll do things, even with my projects, I'll do it as I'm doing it. Like, it'll be my first run and I'm doing it with you because I think it's more fun that way. You know, I think we're learning together, right? So I'm putting this little screw back because I need to protect my sweet little counter. I mean, it might be the right thing to do. I'll fix that in a second. It might be the right thing to do to take that off, but I am going to see if I can find a video on it, and then stay tuned. Okay, so I found a video. Her name is Diane Makes, and she has a good video on how to do all of this. And I'm not going to be scared now. I have to take. Now, where did these screws come from? These screws came from this bottom piece. Okay, so I have to take these 3 off, and it doesn't affect my counter. It just helps me remove this panel. I think. Okay, I don't want to strip that, so I'm going to shut the camera off again. My husband is working from home today, and I had stripped that screw right there, so I couldn't get it out, so he helped me. And now, and I haven't lifted this off yet. Oh, maybe I should do it the other way. I'm going to turn this around. And I'm going to lift this off. See, I thought I was going to wreck this this thing, but it's just the cover that's you're unscrewing. Look how dirty that is. Okay, so this will go over here. Okay, now I think I can lift this up. Oh, look at what's on my gear, you guys. Okay, oh, this one, take this one out. okay? I have to videotape this because I want to videotape it for you, but I also have to videotape it so that I can get it back together. And I'm going to lift this out. We did it! Yay! And check out my... Okay, so there's lots... Some of these are really plugged, okay? Well, not severely, but some of them are. And so we're going to give that a good clean. Oh, it's just gummy. When you feel it, it's sticky. Oh my gosh. Look at that. I took some Norwex powder detergent and put my needles in there to clean because I know it's not gonna hurt my needles. That wasn't a plug for Norwex, but it is good stuff, so I guess we can plug it. And there is the inside of that barrel where the needles go. Okay. I'm gonna put that down. And now, okay, that's what moves the counter, peeps. This is what, when it goes past there, that's what makes it count. Cool. Okay, so now we know how our machine works. So this is really dirty. This is just the flip up switch, but look at this gear. Look at that. This is where it was skipping. That's got to be where it was skipping because it was plugged with all this crap, okay? And it couldn't catch onto the gear. Because if I turn this, none of my gears are stripped. Oh, I'm so thankful for that. Ha! Awesome. Does this go? Oh, this comes out. Look at that. So it was just like, well, you can see how filthy it is. So I'm going to now wash this machine so it is the most shiniest. It's going to be shinier than when it was bought, okay? Look at that. But this was plugged on my gear. Like this was all on one lip of my gear like that. No wonder it was skipping, okay? So we say that we're going to strip our gears, but this is pretty hard plastic. You can't strip this very easily. So if it's giving you problems, it's likely because it's dirty. So chuck that in there with the needles, okay? And then I'm going to give this just an incredible wash, okay? And then oh, this feels so good to get this done, my friends. Oh, like, look how dirty it is. I'm going to clean it up, and then I'm going to assemble it with you. We're going to see if we can make it get back together, okay? So, all right. Thanks for watching so far. Stay tuned. Okay, I'm going to say one more thing that I learned from Diane Makes. You can check her out if you want to, but I'm going to do the same thing that she's doing, and I got my idea from her because she did a video on how to fix this handle, and I thought if I ever take this off, I'm going to fix it. So with these plastic cutting boards that you can buy from the dollar store, I have a video on how I make pom-pom holders with these plastic things, so you can look that up too, but I'm going to use that same thing. Then you're going to put your handle underneath, and you're going to trace it out with a felt marker. So there's one that I traced out with a red felt marker, okay? You're going to trace it out the exact circle of the outside here, and then you need to know where these little notches are right here. And that's what I've drawn in here. So then I took another piece, and it's easier to cut a small square out before you start tracing. It's easier to hold it over the thing. So now I'm going to cut these out, but before I do that, I need to mark my notches on the other one as well. So where's my red pen? Because we need to cut out those notches, and I'll show you why in 1 second. So if that's my circle, I'm just going to cut out a notch right there. Because then when we cut these out, that notch has to slip over. Where's my gear? That notch has to slip over this little nook on the gear here. And it's going to hold our gear snugger to our barrel when it rotates. And so when the handle is so loose, this gear slips off of the bigger gear that's on the barrel. And so she suggested that you put these little shimmies in there so that it helps to, close up that little gap, and then it's not going to slip out from underneath those gears. I'll show you when I put it together where I'm going to put that, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out, and then I'll see you back. So I have it traced out, and to cut it, I'm just going to make a straight line into that one little nook there. Then I'm going to cut around this circle, because I've got to be able to fit my gear through it. And then I know I need to have a little nook here. So I'm going to go straight out like this and in, cut around here. And where that next line is, I'm going to cut straight out here and across there. And that gives me these little nooks here, okay? So then when I stick my gear in there, I think that's how it works. Oh, it sticks on here, okay? So then when you go in here, when you put that on there, then this gear is going to stick into here and it fits in through those holes. I cut them way too big, but that's okay. It doesn't matter if they're bigger, it just needs to fit. This needs to be the circumference of this circle, and this needs to be able to get those in there, okay? Just like that. And so this is going to go into the first part of the machine. Then we're going to add these. I'll show you when I assemble, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and cut this one, and then when I'm done cutting this one, we will start assembly. Okay, so I've got my 2 circles cut out. Now, where did I put them? Oh, they're down here. Cut out, and I'm going to show you how. That's not them. I'm going to show you how to assemble it, okay? Because you know, when we are knitting, our handle has give, like all of us will say that our handle has give and it wiggles because it's not tight, okay? And so this is what she said to do, is to make these shims that hold it tighter to here. But also, I cut out a little plastic rectangle like this. I took off this part here. They did it with metal, and they did it right across so that they could screw the screw through it. But I'm going to just do it about that length, okay? So just so it's meeting the circles on both sides. So you can see, maybe I should measure that for you because I'm going to show you what's going to happen here. So if I measure this thing, it is 2 inches. It's exactly 1 inch. Exactly 1 inch long, okay? And so, and it's as wide as this thing is. So then I'm going to set that on there. I'm going to take my gear. I'm going to put it on top, and I'm going to push down because this gear is always loose too. And so we know that when we're knitting, sometimes our gears grind or they slip. And that's because this part barely has room to go in there, so it'll slip out because there's wiggle room on the handle. This slips out, and that's why sometimes then it feels like you're missing, like it's skipping, and that's because it is. It's because it's coming out. So this is going to make it tighter. So I'm going to turn that around. I'm going to put that back in there with that little shim. Okay, just like so. Put that on top, and I'm going to screw that down. Oops, I'm going to screw this back down where it goes. And that's going to keep this inside gear tighter. Come on. If I can find the hole. Hang on, where's the hole? Okay, hold on. I'm going to get it started off camera. There, I had to line one up like this and get that screw started. And now I will put this on there. Push it down with my gear. This is harder than it looks, peeps. I'm going to push that in there. Then I'm going to put my gear like that. Okay? So you just have to be patient and figure it out, okay? And that's how I figured it out. And then I'm going to screw that down. It's nice and tight in there. Not too tight that it's not going to turn, but tight enough that it's not going to wiggle like it used to. And then we'll screw that one in. Okay? Okay, so that is not wobbly like it used to be, but yet it still turns easily. So that's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be great help. Okay, so now we're going to take our little shims that we made. Mine are not nearly as nice as they could be, but you don't see them anyways. You're going to stick them over top of that gear. You see these little notches, that little jet out there? That's what we put these notches for. But, you know, if you cut your circle big enough, that probably isn't as much of a worry. Then I'm going to line up those little notches with this little notch on my gear. Then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put my screw in there and tighten it, okay? I'm going to do that off camera too because I can't hold it under the camera here. So I'm going to go put my screw back in the handle. There we go. So now my handle's going to turn, and there's no wiggle room up here and there's no wiggle room here, but it turns beautifully. I might hear, there we go. See? If that works, I am just going to be so proud and so happy about that. If not, then I'll just take my machine apart since I learned how to do it and remove it. So anyways, that's there's an idea for you. Okay, I'm going to now find the next part to assemble. Okay, so I put that in here just to see, but once that's done, I'm going to put my piece in like that. Okay. And now the gear is snug up against the gear, the rings that are, or the rungs or whatever you want to call them, the teeth that it turns this with are snug up against it. So I think that's going to work great. Now I'm going to take, this part has an opening here, and that goes where my counter is. I remember that. Okay. So then we're going to put that down in there like so. And then I got to put my cover on my, let me just turn this. I'm going to put my cover over my counter there, if I have that right. And then that slips down over the gears. Okay. And then what did I do next? I had turned this upside down. And then I'm going to screw in this part first. I'm going to screw in the screws that I took my counter off first, and then I'm going to go ahead and screw in the ones that are on the bottom here. Where did they go? Did I have ones on the bottom here? Oh, this one, and these two. That's what I'm going to do next. Okay. All right, so I had to watch my video and see what I did. After putting these two back and this one, I still have to put this one back, but I stripped that one. So I'm going to see if I can find a new screw that fits in there that's not stripped so that I don't have trouble getting it out next time. But I have to put the little screws in there, in here, in there, and in there. So 4 places, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and do that next. I got to find the tiny wee screws that I had. Okay, and those go right there. Nope, not that one. That was the one that was stripped. Okay. So I'm going to put that in there. And I'm going to screw that down, and I'm going to do that with all 4 that belong on the bottom here, okay? So you can go ahead and do that to yours if you're following along, and I'll see you back when you get all 4 put in. Okay, so to show you where you place your needles, I did a trial and error, just so you know. I had it all together, and then I did take it apart just so you could see. I wanted to make sure the needles were right. Okay, you have to put it in, you have to put it, go into circular mode. Okay, and so when your needles are lined up, normally, you're going to go over some so that the white needles are in front here. Then you're going to stick it in panel mode. And when it's in panel mode, you're going to come back. Okay? And you can't go any farther. Okay, so we came this direction. We're coming this, okay? So we're rotating the way we normally would. And these 2 black needles will be to the right of your counter here. But this 3rd black needle, when it's in there, it's on the very top of this little point, okay? Of this little triangle. This black one is here, then the next is white. And these 2 black are to the left of it. That's when it's in panel mode, okay? And so then you're going to go around the other way in panel mode. And then it's going to stop there, and this is how it looks. That last black needle is on top, okay? So that's how we know that we have them in the right place, okay? And so again, I actually put it all together, and I did a flat panel. And when it's like this, your 3 black needles are your turning needles for your panels. And so that's how I know it was right, okay? Because when I did a flat panel, went one way and then came back the other way, these 3 needles did not get worked. They were my turning needles. So now that we know that those are in the right place, we are going to continue on here. Okay, so we got them all in, but I forgot to tell you that before I put them in, I took a little bit of Vaseline and I put just a little bit on the back side of every needle. I was watching a video the channel is called Old Stars, and he in the it's the video is called Addi Gears Part 1 and Part 2, and he's just putting it all together. And I just while I was doing this, there were some difficulties that I was having, so I went and I looked it up, and anyways, he said to put a little bit of Vaseline on your needles before you put them in. So I did a very, very little bit, and I, you know, I think if he can do it, so can I. If somebody else is doing it, then maybe it's a good idea. So I decided that I would do it too. So now we're going to take our black ring, and where this V is on here, we have to line that up with the V. I'm going to flip this back down a circular with the V that's here. So that middle black one is in the middle of the V. So if I put that in the position like that, then I can pop this right down. Okay. Then I'm going to take my screws. Once I get that down, there we go. I'm going to take my screws and I'm going to screw all 4 of these screws in. And then when I get those screws put on, I'm going to find this. I'm not going to do it on the camera here because it's just screwing screws in. Then I'm going to bring my first black and my last white needle in line, because I have marked this red divider between the last white and the first black. If you watch my videos, you know that's what I've done. So I know that that fits on like that. Okay. And then I'm going to, once I get that other one screwed down, then this will fit on nicely over top of all these needles. I just got to wiggle it a little bit and it'll go. Maybe it's because I haven't got it screwed down, so nothing is. I'll get it screwed down and then I'll show you the next piece, okay? Okay, just a little tip that I thought I would tell you as I'm doing this. When I put this first one in, here I'm pushing on this black edge. I'm pushing it towards these needles, and so that I can tighten it as close to these needles as I can, because I think that's what's going to hold them in place under the yarn guide. When my yarn comes around, then it's not going to miss the needle. So I want this to be nice and snug at this end. So I'm going to do this one first, and then I'm pushing this towards the needles as I'm tightening this, so that I don't have any, like hardly any gap in there. And I'm hoping that that will help my will help me to pick up the yarn without dropping stitches. So we're gonna see. This is all a big experiment. All these new things I'm doing here. Okay, so just thought I'd pop on and tell you that I'm gonna try that. Okay. I mean, I'm not forcing it because I'm just securing it, but I wasn't putting so much pressure on it that it's not in its rightful place. Just giving it a little help. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put all the rest of those screws in, and then I'll see you back. All right, so now that that's on nice and secure, I'm going to take my red ring. Now, if you haven't marked that with a black permanent marker, then this is number 46 and this is number 1. So number 1 is going to go on your black needle, your first black needle, and 46 on your white. And you're just going to pop those in like that. And there, it just snaps into place just beautifully like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and take this cover. I'm going to snap that into place, and then you'll see this is where the screws are. I'm going to put 4 screws along there, and when I put these screws in too, I'm going to kind of pull this towards me when I tighten it, I just want to, I don't know if that's going to make a difference, but I'm going to, actually probably won't, because it's not even affecting the needles there. So I'm just going to screw these in there, and we'll have that part done, and then I think we're ready to knit. So I'm so excited about it that we got it done. Once I get it all screwed together, then I will show you how smooth it goes, okay? All right, so thank you for persevering through that with me. I hope it helps you out, and I hope you're able to get yours cleaned and shiny and new like this. It's just beautiful. Now we're going to give it a try, okay? I'm going to make sure it's in circular motion, and I'm going to put it behind that first. Well, I don't need to teach you on this one. I'm just going to do it, okay? And see how it... Do you know how I know right away that these needles are closer to this? Because I can't... When I'm feeding it here, my fingers are getting in the way of this. That never happened before. So, oh my goodness, it's a lot closer to the yarn feeder. I think that's going to stop help with the tucked stitches or the dropped stitches. Like, I can tell right away. That's exciting to me. I can tell right away when I'm doing my cast on that these needles are closer to this, and I think that's because of what I did when I put it together. Okay, so now we're going to see how quiet it is. I'm going to stop talking. It'll be the second row, because the first row you always hear it snapping. This is amazing. And I'm telling you, my needles are closer. I am confident I am going to tuck way less stitches. Like, seriously, look. Oh my word. Okay, this is a moment of happiness, I'm telling you. And my handle is tight. That little, what do you call that thing, those plastic things that we put in the handle? Do it. Because I'm telling you, I can't tell you. You have to feel it. It is making a huge difference on the handle. Look at that. Like, okay, success. I am a happy camper. Thank you for joining me. Go ahead and take the time that it takes to clean your Addi. Follow some of those tips that I did. The best tip I can tell you is to tighten this close to you, because look at that. The needle is just skimming the edge of this as it goes by. Like, that's how close it is. Those stitches cannot go over top. That yarn cannot go over top. I think my knitting experience, although it's been great so far, is going to just be improved by like 100%. Simply because of that. So if you're dropping and tucking a lot of stitches, there's probably too much space in between there. So you're welcome. Anyways, I need a coffee and some snacks, and that's what I'm going to go do. But I am so happy about how this turned out. So thank you for joining me. I hope you were inspired and to get yours done, and good luck. If you have any trouble, shoot me a little comment and I'll try to answer. Okay, or post it in our Facebook group, Koala Knits and Knacks. If you haven't joined that, please do so. I'd love to have you there. So I'm going to call this a wrap and say thanks again, my friends. Please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I sure appreciate you. Take care.